So today we're going to continue with pronouns. So what are pronouns? Pronouns replaces a noun. It replaces the place of a noun, right? So pronouns are words like I, me, she, we, they, who, that, yours, his, her, it, and there are many more. So usually for a female, we use pronouns like she or her. When it's more than one, we can use pronouns like them or they. And when it comes to things or animals, we use the pronoun it. So here with me, I have some nouns, right? Because pronoun replaces a noun. So I have some example here of nouns. And I have proper nouns and common nouns. It does not matter if it's a proper noun or a common noun. All that matters is that it is a noun, and pronouns replaces the noun. So if I was talking about Amariah and I wanted to replace her name, if I said Amariah came home, Amariah got a snack. I don't need to say her name twice. I could say Amariah came home, blank had a snack. What would be some of the best pronouns to replace the word Amariah with? It would be the word she. She got a snack. Or I gave it to Amariah. If I want to switch that name from I gave it to Amariah, I could also say I gave it to her because she is a girl. So these words could replace her name because pronouns replaces the noun. And these are nouns. We know what nouns are. So let's take a look at Varin. We have Varin. He's a boy. He's a male, right? So what are some of the best pronouns I could use to replace his name? I could use words like he or him, right? These are both pronouns that can be used to replace Varin's name, depending on the sentence that we're using. Let's look at the word boy. To replace this noun, boy, I could also use he or him. And then I have an example here with more than one people. I have Emilio, Nathan, and Juliana. What are some pronouns that I could use to replace these nouns here? So I could use pronouns like they or them, right? So these are some pronouns that I could use to replace all these names. And then I have Micah and I. Micah and I'm including myself. So I could use pronouns like we or us because it's me and him. So I'm talking about him and I together. So these are all examples of how I could use a pronoun to replace a noun. So we're going to go ahead and do a little practice with replacing nouns with pronouns. This is like a little revision because we started this on Monday, okay? So you will need your language arts notebook. Yes, you will need to head it up. Yes, you need to write down the questions and the options. These are short. It shouldn't take you long to write them down. Go ahead and write it down. You can pause the video anytime when you need to. I will be reading each sentence out so that you can see all of them clearly, okay? So sentence 1. Charles puts the books on the table. What pronoun could be used to replace the noun Charles? Go ahead and choose your answer. Number 2. The children are making a snowman. What pronoun can be used to replace the children? Select your answer. Remember, you can pause the video to write down each one and then choose your answer, okay? Number 3. Mom put the pie on the table. What pronoun could I use to replace the noun mom? Number 4. Monique sings beautifully. What pronoun can I use to replace Monique? Number 5. James has 2 cats. What pronoun can I use to replace the noun James? If you are finished, then you can go ahead and play the video. If you still need time to finish, pause the video now. Okay, if you're playing the video, that means you are finished. Let's go ahead and check our answers. Number 1, Charles puts the book on the table. The best pronoun would be he puts the books on the table. Number 2, the children are making a snowman. The best pronoun would be they, because we're talking about more than one people. Children are plural of the word child. So they are making a snowman is the best pronoun. Mom put the pie on the table. The best pronoun here would be she. She put the pie on the table. Monique sings beautifully. The best pronoun to choose would be she. She sings beautifully. Number 5, James has 2 cats. The best pronoun would be he. He has 2 cats. So if you did well, very good. You are able to identify pronouns. Good job. Today, we will be specifically looking at first person pronouns. First person pronouns means you're talking about yourself, the speaker, the person that's writing, the person that's talking. If I say, I am happy, I am talking about myself. I am the first person. So first person pronoun means you're talking about yourself. What does first person pronoun means? First person pronoun means you're talking about yourself. You are included, okay? So specifically, today we're going to be looking at the first person pronoun I and me. We're going to find out when should I use I and when should I use me. I and me are first person pronouns, but we and us are also first person pronoun because you're talking about yourself. In the example that I had, I put Micah and I. So I said we because I'm talking about Micah and myself. First person pronouns always includes yourself. But these, you see they're in yellow? Because we're not going to talk about these today because this is the plural form of pronouns because it's talking about more than one person. Today we're going to look at the singular first person pronouns, the ones that are only talking about you. You are one person. You're talking about yourself, and we use pronouns like I and me. So let's go ahead and take a look at my little PowerPoint that I have here, and we're gonna learn about first person pronoun. Okay, so using I and me. I and me are first person pronouns. The words I and me are pronouns. What type of pronouns are they? They are first person pronouns. So pronouns are words that replace nouns. When you write about yourself, you need to use the pronouns I and me. For example, if I'm writing about myself, it would be really weird for me to say, Miss Crawford is feeling tired when I'm talking about myself, right? I'm not referring to myself in the first person. I would say, I am feeling really tired. I could also say, Mrs. Vasquez gave the book to me. I'm talking about myself. She gave it to me, right? So we're going to be learning how do you know which one to use. How do I know if I should use I or if I need to use me in my sentence? Well, there are some rules. Let's learn about those rules. We use I in the subject of a sentence. The subject of the sentence. Remember, the subject is what or who the sentence is about. So we will use I in the subject of a sentence. For example, I went to school today. I am the subject. Who are they talking about? I, me. I'm talking about I, right? I went to school today. I am a great reader. You are when I is in the subject of the sentence, that's when we use it, right? Now, when do we use me? Use me after an action verb. So action verbs are words that show an action. For example, jump, run, gave. Action words. Verbs are words that you're doing. Anything that you can do. Can you sleep? Yes, that's an action. Can you eat? Yes, that's an action. So those are action verbs. And also, if they're words like for, in, into, to, with, by, and at. If these words are there, then you will use the me after. For example, Mrs. Smith saw me. I will use me. I will not say Mrs. Smith saw I. That's not correct. Saw is a verb. It's something that you can do. You can see someone, right? So saw is the past tense of see, right? So Mrs. Smith saw me. So I will use me. One student waved at me. The verb here is wave. This is something you can do. The action waved at me. So it's time for you to go ahead and try it yourself. Pause the video. Yes, you will write this down in your book and choose the correct pronoun. Will you use I or me? Once you're finished, continue to play the video. Okay, if you are playing the video now, that means you are finished. So let's check to see if you got the answers correct. The first one is supposed to be I. I love my teacher. Second one, Meg and I are friends. Third one, you and I walk to the gym. Fourth one, the teacher smiles at me. Why are we using me? Because it comes after the verb. Smile is a verb. This is an action that I can do. He and me, play a game. I will use I because the verb is here, play. If I or me came after the verb, then I would use me, right? He and I play a game. Now you're not finished. Time to do this one on your own. And this time you're going to take a picture of it and send it to me. So go ahead and get this done and then snap a picture, send it to me, and let me see how you did.